Awesome.
And I'm just going to sit and listen. Hey, Terry, welcome back. Terry, I was explaining to Megan that we'll probably be in the same format we did last night, where we come to our current students towards the end of the presentation, if that's okay. Thank you, sir.
All right, we're at 2:02, so I think we'll go ahead and get started. And if people join us late, they can just jump on in. Again, welcome to the first ever Theater and Dance Virtual Open House for ISRC. We're so excited that you're here today to join us to learn about our awesome program here. Just to give you a little bit of an idea, we're going to go through a presentation first, and then at the end, we'll have an opportunity for people to ask questions. We have some of our current ISRC theater and dance students joining us as well, that they might be able to answer some of your questions as well. But feel free anytime throughout the presentation to type your questions into the chat, and we will get to those at the end. Without further ado, let's go, guys.
All right. Folks, welcome, and thank you, Becky, for that introduction. My name is Alex Cantor. I am the Director of Theater here at ISRC, and we're going to go through our introductions in just a sec, but we all want to say thank you for taking the time out of your Friday afternoon. We're almost at the weekend, and we promise this is a worthwhile presentation. This could be the first step in the rest of your life. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. And I'm going to introduce my colleague, Ms. Jocelyn Perez.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jocelyn Perez. I'm the Director of Dance here at ISRC. And, you know, I've worked as a director, choreographer, performer, freelance all over Florida. And I'm really happy to have you here today.
Thank you. And you already heard my name. I'm Alex Cantor. And I just got here this year, so this is a brand new gig for me, which I'm so thrilled to be here at Indian River State College and back in the state of Florida because I missed it. I was a professional actor, singer, dancer, and director around the country and around the world for 10 years and grew up in the New York City area and worked in New York for a long time. And but am thrilled to be back in, this is the Sunshine State, right? Yeah, the Sunshine State, and working with this incredible team and these incredible students in this community here. And the most incredible person you will ever meet is our colleague, Mrs. Rebecca Shearer, and I'm gonna let her say a little bit about what she does here.
Hi guys, I'm Rebecca Shearer again. I'm the theater manager here for the Performing and Visual Arts Department at Indian River State College. I know it's a little bit of a weird title and how it relates to you guys, but I am the one that hopefully helps you get enrolled here, get your scholarships processed, and helps you throughout your journey here to ultimately graduating. And I also act as support for our faculty and students to eventually make the shows happen. So I like to call myself I help make the magic happen. That's what I tell my kids I do for a living. I make magic happen. So I'm really looking forward to answering your questions here today and hopefully working with all of you soon.
Thank you, Rebecca. So, you know, the most important question that we want to talk about here is why ISRC? We want to talk about this institution and why it matters to you and why we love being here. So Professor Perez has some really great insight about what drew her here and what she loves about the place.
Yeah, so I'm originally from South Florida and I was drawn to the location, right? So ISRC is in this 4-county area and Fort Pierce is just absolutely beautiful. I've loved the beaches since I was little. And so that's what drew me to this area. ISRC specifically has an amazing performing arts program. And I love the intimate setting that it allows for students and faculty to work together. And then also the community that we serve and, you know, the campus itself. So performing arts is on the Massey campus, which is the main campus. And it is a beautiful location with amazing facilities. There's a Starbucks on campus. There's a gym for students. And there's amazing opportunities and activities as well for everyone. Yeah. What about you, Alex?
And it's pretty easy to get to too. I-95 and Route 1, they take us everywhere, right? What's interesting, again, I just got here and I have to say that something that's so important to me, having worked in several different colleges, both in Florida and around the country, is accessibility, right? It's so important. We can provide a very quality education and great arts programs, but if students can't access that material or can't afford to be here, that's a big problem. And I don't know if you're aware of this, but Indian River State College, I believe it was last year or 2 years ago, was named the most affordable college in the country. Not Florida, the country. That's huge right now, especially now in the midst of COVID and financial crises. And we know what a struggle it is just to get out of bed in the morning, let alone to try to fork over money for a college education. And IRSC, we believe in making that education accessible to our students. It is affordable, and 91% of our students graduate debt-free, without debt. That's humongous in this day and age when we are most people coming out of college are saddled with debt for years and years and years to come, especially in the performing arts, where you'll never make enough money to pay off your debt, right? That's not true, by the way. You can make money in the performing arts. However, it's so important to us that we make sure that our students, even when they graduate, are prepared for success. And we make sure that that's done academically as well as financially. And our scholarship program helps with that, specifically for performing arts students, helps with that tremendously. And we'll be talking about that scholarship program later on in the presentation. We provide in the performing arts department, and we'll talk about our degrees in just a second, but we really are a stepping stone. And this is why Indian River is such a really cool place for artists. We provide AA degrees in dance, in theater, in other performing arts. And if you decide to major in those, you can take all of your basic courses in the discipline, whether that's, modern and jazz dance or acting one and directing. You can take those here with us in a very small, intimate, and supportive setting. You can get a lot of your general education requirements done, your Math 101 and your science. And then you can, at a very affordable price, and then you can use those credits to transfer to a larger college within the state of Florida, such as a UCF, a Florida Atlantic, USF, et cetera. And you've really killed 6 birds with 1 stone. So we provide a great stepping stone to our students for how to get a really nice foundation at an affordable price and then succeed in their next step in their career. And we are fortunate enough to have in the room an alumnus of this institution. Mrs. Shearer, would you like to talk about sort of what you love about this place?
Yes, I am a graduate of IRSC. I did the first 2 years here and then transferred to Florida Atlantic University. So besides working from here, I do know what it's like from a student perspective to go through the program here. As a student, the smaller class sizes, my individual attention from my professors was just unbelievable. I had a class here of 15 to 30 people in a biology class, and at FAU, I was in a class of 300. So it made a very big difference in my life. And again, I had a scholarship here at IRSC, but when I transferred to FAU, it was literally 3 times the amount of money for tuition. So at least I got the first 2 years really, really good prices. So I do love the idea of the first 2 years if you can save money. Also, Florida Bright Futures is also offering now, if you come to a 2-year college first, they're going to be giving you 100% towards that award compared. You could get the same award going to a major university and they would only pay up to 75%. So I think even the state sees the value of the first 2 years at a local state college. Also, I'd like to mention the uniqueness of our program here. Yes, we are an educational institution, but within performing arts, we run our program very much like a business, and that our students are our employees. They are paid a scholarship to work. They come here, they're given a work schedule, a rehearsal schedule. They come, they rehearse, and they put on shows. That is their job to perform. But I like that because it's a very real world model. It helps these students, particularly that are majoring in the performing arts, understand what this world is really like. And you're expected to be there, and you're expected to perform, and you're expected to be part of a team. And I think those fundamental things that we're teaching here helps these students, obviously the ones that are going on in the performing arts, but also the skills they're using. Maybe they're coming here and they're going to be majoring in business, but that time management, the money, the working, the attitude that you're learning here is going to help you in whatever career you go on to. And with that, I would just like to remind you that you do not have to be majoring in the performing arts world to get one of our scholarships. You can come to IRSC and major in education, business, dental, architecture, and possibly get one of our scholarships. Again, why do we do that? Because we're a business that have to hire performers to do all of our shows. So that is why the scholarship is available to those individuals.
And Mrs. Scheer made a great point about what makes us unique. The very fact that you could be a dental hygienist major and be front and center in the dance show is a very different experience than you will have in the larger schools or the larger programs elsewhere. Where if you're at a big school and you are not majoring in that department, they'll never see you, and you don't get a chance to be in those shows. So that's key, I think. And we'll talk a little bit about sort of some other special, unique aspects of our programs when we get to the actual programs in some future slides. Like dance.
So dance, we offer an AA in dance, and courses that are offered are technique level classes. So you have your modern dance, your jazz, and your ballet, and we have several levels of those technique classes. We also offer a dance appreciation course, which is a humanities class where we look at dance from different perspectives, whether it's dance as storytelling, dance as protest, dance as therapy, things like that. And then we also have a dance composition class, which is a choreography class, which feeds into one of our productions. But here we work on choreographic studies, whether that's solo work, site-specific work, duets, and group work, and it's a lot of fun. And this picture, just to make note of it, so we have Celeste in the corner. If you came to watch our production of Blood Wedding that Mr. Cantor directed, she participated in our dance show last year, and she was selected to work with our guest choreographer, Megan Carvajal, who's based in Miami, and it was a hip hop choreographic residency, and it was such a wonderful addition to our program. Yeah. So we have two productions for our dance program. We have our annual dance concert, which is usually in January slot. And then we also have a student dance concert, which is usually in April. And the beauty of both of these productions is that I work with theater and dance students. So it's open to anyone too, as well in IRSC as a whole. And we have different styles. So we have ballet, jazz, we've even had tap before, hip hop, you know, postmodern, avant-garde kind of pieces. And, you know, this year, because of COVID, we are having a virtual dance performance, which we're titling We'll Meet Again. So be on the lookout for that. That'll be end of January, and that'll be streamed through our YouTube and Facebook page. And then our student dance concert is really special. It's a much more intimate setting in our Black Box Theater, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But this one is a chance for students to work with each other and create something from scratch. And it's a mentorship process that you work with me throughout the semester to get your work produced in a fully produced show. So that's a really exciting process for us. And something to note too for AA and dance, you know, if you become as a performing arts scholarship or if you're doing that dance track, you know, there's many opportunities besides performing in the dance field, right? So there's dance science, there's dance therapy, there's teaching. I've had friends of mine who've gone on to be physical therapists and PAs. So there's different opportunities within the dance field. So I don't want us to think that it's just performance. And then just one more thing to note about our program is we have a new exciting partnership with Ballet Vero Beach, which is our local company in Vero Beach. Yeah, and so we're starting a fellowship program for students to get that real world professional experience with the company, and then also the higher education side within our dance program. And then also, just like our performing arts scholarship, you could major in anything. It doesn't have to be within the dance discipline, which is another exciting opportunity. And our performing arts scholarship and the Ballet Vero Beach partnership I've never heard of, and I hope that people will make use of it. Yeah.
And that partnership with Vero Beach, which Professor Perez has been working on for 2 or 3 years, I mean, it's incredible that that just came to fruition, and it's so exciting. But we have, that's just one example of how committed to our community this faculty and this department is. We know that the arts are nothing without our community. There are supporters, there are partners, and they're frankly where we're going to send you all. So that's one example of the synergy that is so important to everything that we do. And I can't wait to see I want to join it. Like, forget it. I'm done teaching. I'm going to go join Ballet Vero. I can't wait.
Do it.
So,
do it.
Thank you. I need the scholarship, right? Thank you, Professor Perez. Let's talk about theater a little. Some of you may have been fortunate enough to have come to see our recent outdoor socially distanced production of Federico Garcia Lorca's Blood Wedding. You're looking at Billy Banks, who played the Moon, and clearly had a good time doing it. But we do traditionally each season, we do between 5 and 6 major theater productions that usually spans to 1 to 3 productions per semester, including fall, spring, and summer. And we have a big variety of types of shows that we do. Everything from contemporary comedies to classical theater to something in the middle, which is what Blood Wedding was, from poetic pieces, lyrical pieces to dark dramas. And I think that's very important from an educational standpoint, because I want to make sure that our students get an experience in a wide variety of production styles. And just as Professor Perez was saying with the dance concerts, that giving you so many different genres is important for your exploration. We believe that's true in theater as well. You learn, we all agree, you learn from doing. We want you on stage, we want you performing. And it's not enough to just read Shakespeare or read Neil Simon. You have to be able to get it up on its feet. And that's true with diverse works as well. This season, I'm happy to say, not only was Blood Wedding written by a Spanish artist and translated by Langston Hughes, an American poet, but we also have my spring season of comedies is all written by female playwrights. So it's important to us to put our money where our mouth is and really make sure that we're diversifying the canon and bringing new and interesting voices to the forefront of what we do. And our students are really responding very well to that as well. Performance opportunities for students. The question I get asked most often is, well, as a first year, will I get to be on stage? Or do you only give preference to like seniors? And the great news about coming to a 2-year college, a 2-year program, is that Professor Perez and I do not have the luxury of only giving parts to seniors, right? We only get you for 2 years and we need to suck every bit of talent we've got out of you. So for example, in Blood Wedding, of the 5 major roles, 3 of them were first year students who had just come to us. So we are very committed to giving equal opportunity on the stage. I reward hard work, as we all do, because we know hard work and work ethic is what's going to make it in the field. And we can see that in 1 week, just as easily as we can see that in 1 year. So you come to us and you are performing or working backstage from day 1, which again is different than at a lot of larger programs where you might have to pay your dues for 3 years before the professor even knows your name, let alone gets you into an audition and puts you on the stage. Moving on, I want to talk about a little bit about our academics in theater. Like the dance program, we offer an AA in theater. And for that, you can focus in acting, in performance, or you can focus in technical theater. And actually, one of our students that's on the call with us today is one of our tech theater students. You can see her. Megan is sitting back there. She actually stage managed on the fly. She sort of walked in and had to stage manage our Blood Wedding production, which was pretty incredible, calling the show. We also have our student Ashley on Spotlight and Ethan on Spotlight here. So our students, they build the sets, they run the shows, they perform in the shows, and occasionally we make them publicize them too. So students really get to experience all aspects of the business. And I'm a big proponent of teaching the arts as a business. I came from an arts administration background as well as a performance background. So it's important to me that you all come out of here knowing how to survive in the arts, what the arts means, even if you're not going to be in the spotlight the whole time. And that's whether you're a dancer, or a Shakespearean actor, or a violinist, right? We all need to know how to make it in the world, and our parents need to know that we will make it in the world. That's very important too, and that there's healthcare out there. So some of the classes that we offer for our AA, we have an acting class, which is again a studio technique-based class. We also have a directing seminar that I'm teaching this coming spring. I know Terry is on the call, and he begged and pleaded that we get that course back on the roster. So we're very excited to have that with student directing. I also teach 2 general education classes. One is Intro to Theater, which is everything from ancient Greece to what is upstage, what is downstage, and that's usually for the general education humanities population. We also teach a survey of dramatic lit class, which is really important because as actors and as technicians, you have to read some plays. You got to know what the literature is. Every time you go to find a monologue for your IEs, for example, for my high school thespians, you're going to the teacher saying, hey, what's a good monologue for me? Well, my point is I want to make sure you guys have the library, you guys have the access to the rich dramatic literature that is out there so that you can find really good pieces to work on and be self-reliant as you go into the world. We also have a stage makeup class, which is taught by one of our colleague professors. She's been doing this for years and students love that class. It's fun. You get to make yourself up, age makeup, fantasy makeup, character makeup, etc. And again, a really useful skill if you're going on to perform in the real world or do tech in the real world. And the last thing I want to say about both of our programs, and this is true with the entire performing arts division, you get credit for doing the shows, for performing. Again, we firmly believe you learn not from a book. Yes, you do learn from books, but you learn the performing arts from being on stage or being backstage. And we believe in rewarding that with credit. So every one of these performances and productions involves at least one credit for the students. You are not wasting your time or giving us your time. You are being compensated for that with both academic credit and, if you're on the scholarship program, with a performance scholarship. And that's very important to us, to treat you with respect, dignity, and as the performing artist that you are. All right. So, and I think just as Professor Perez said, with an AA in theater, yes, you can transfer. Terry's a great example. He's preparing his auditions right now for transfer auditions to some of our larger college partners to go into a BA or a BFA program, a studio-based program in theater. But you could also use any of these degrees to do project management, to do finance, accounting, or education, psychology. They're all, if you think that actors don't need to know psychology, you clearly haven't studied acting yet. You need to take my class, because boy, do we deal with a lot of head cases, right? So it's important that we see that there's a lot of different uses for these degrees. All right, and we're gonna move on and talk about the musical. That's what everyone's here for, right? We know how important musicals are for high school performers, whether you sing, dance, or act, or all three. This is the big deal, and we believe it's a big deal here at the college as well. Traditionally, each year, the entire department, our instrumental, our vocal, our dance, and our theater departments, we come together on this big slam bang production. We sell out the house. You're looking at a production of Man of La Mancha from 2017. This is Shira's favorite show, and she's smiling because it's not her favorite show, but don't worry. It was done in 2017. We won't do it again for a while. And it's a big deal. And we also know that for students and for patrons, for our community, this is, everyone loves the musical. And so we put a lot of energy and a lot of effort into that. And I want to let Professor Perez, who's actually worked on several of our musicals, speak to what that experience was like from our end.
Yeah, so when I came in, we did Into the Woods, which doesn't involve a lot of dancing, but it was a really magical experience to see how the departments, vocal department, instrumental department, theater department, and the dance department come in and collaborate together. And last year we did Grease the Musical, which was so fun and so amazing. And we had a sold out experience and our community absolutely loved it. Everyone was coming back and just ranting and raving about our performance. And working with theater students, vocal students on the choreographic end was very rewarding, and everyone just put their 2 feet forward to make this project happen. And it was a lot of fun doing Grease Lightning and all these other amazing pieces, iconic dances from the musical. Yeah.
So it is a time when we all come together, and we get so busy. We have so many productions going on during the year that it's sometimes nice to all come together and work on one thing, because it's easy to get siloed and sort of forget what the other one's doing. And it's a really beautiful experience to be able to collaborate like that. This year, because of COVID, we have a very different experience for our musical. We're doing a very small chamber comedy musical called Triumph of Love, which only has 7 performers in it. And we're doing it outdoors, completely in the round. So the audience will completely surround the performers. Don't ask me how that's going to happen yet. We haven't figured that out, but we're excited for it. It'll be like very different than anything the audience has seen before, nor the actors. And we can't wait. It's something near and dear to my heart. I came from professional musical theater and have toured around the world performing in it. Professor Perez has worked in musical theater for a long time. Becky Shearer loves the musicals. And you can see by her background, it's Annie, get your gun. We care a lot about the musical, and we know how much it matters. And our theater program, I should say our Performing Arts Center, we have a very robust subscription series with our patrons in the community that they are clamoring at the doors going, when are you opening up back again? When are you selling your tickets? When's the musical? So we are very supported by this community, and that's a blessing. Most colleges have to drag audience members in to come see things, and we feel the opposite. We say, no, we're going to give the people what they want, and that's very important to us as well. And we can do that because we have such flexible performance spaces. Again, a luxury for a college of this size and of this caliber to have this kind of performance spaces. Professor Perez, do you want to talk about our main stage?
Yeah, so the McAlpin Theater seats about 625 patrons. It is a proscenium stage, so we have audience on one side, complete with fly rail, wings, and we also have the technical shop attached to the McAlpin. And many shows happen in here, including the musicals we were talking about, except for our new musical next spring. Our big annual dance concert is also in here. We have vocal performances, instrumental performances in this space.
And we should add that our pit does actually lower, so it's on a hydraulic lift. So we have a full pit that goes underneath the stage.
Yeah.
Mrs. Shearer will talk about our black box space.
Yep. Besides the McAlpin, we also have another theater right here on the Fort Pierce main campus. It's our Wynn Black Box Theater. It's a 100-seat flexible theater, so we can do audiences on 3 sides, arena, proscenium. We can also take out the risers and bring in tables, and we do dinner theater type events in there. We do children's theaters events in there. We also use the space as a rehearsal space, a classroom space. And I just love, again, that the opportunity that we have the 2 performance spaces, because again, not only the different types of styles and genres of shows we can do, but it gives all of our performers the opportunity of learning the technique in these 2 different spaces as well.
And speaking of learning techniques in different spaces, especially this year because of COVID, we actually use this as a creative challenge because artists, we always rise to the challenge and reinvent the wheel. And so our recent fall production of Blood Wedding took place on the patio outside of the McAlpin Performing Arts Center. And you can see here is a picture of one of our matinees, our daytime shows, with audience using, flexible seating out on the grass. And as I said, the musical this year will be directly behind where this picture was taken in our gazebo. We have a large 20-foot diameter gazebo that will be the crux of this performance when we do that. And then in the summer, oh my gosh, we have this very exciting project that's going to involve high school students as well. And it's going to be outdoors in multiple locations where the audience actually, it's going to be immersive theater where the audience actually has to move locations during the show. Can't wait to explain that and announce that pretty soon, but I should probably first tell Professor Perez and the rest of my department about it. So we'll get there. Anyway, so it is so important for performers that you all get that experience. You don't know in the future where your job is going to take you and what you're going to be hired to do. I've been hired to do shows that were in arenas where I had to do 30-foot dives into water. I've been hired to do shows that were on cruise ships, and I've been hired to do shows that were in tiny little basements. So you never know what skill set you're going to need in terms of performance and where you're going with that. So it's important to us that we're giving you all those options. This is a picture of our dorms. And I know that on this call, I believe we actually have one of our students is from Melbourne in Brevard County. Welcome, hi. And it's important that we tell you that we have dorms on this campus, which is very rare, again, for one of our state schools in Florida to be able to house our performing arts students. Several of these dorm rooms are reserved for our performing arts students. Mrs. Shearer, do you want to talk a little bit more about sort of what student life is like here, or what specifically maybe with the dorms as well?
Yeah, also with the dorms, it is right here on the campus and it's in walking distance of our spaces. So that's the other great benefit is you don't have to have a car. You could walk to class from this. As a performing arts scholarship recipient, you are eligible to also have a fine arts housing scholarship as well. So that is an opportunity that a normal person pays $600 a month over there. If you're on our scholarship, we also give you the tuition scholarship, but a housing scholarship up to half of your rent for you. So we pay half of the rent for you. So it's pretty nice. But again, besides living here on campus and having that opportunity to get the real college experience, we also have like student gyms, we have a pool, we have racquetball courts, tennis courts. The college itself does lots of activities throughout the year. Tonight, we're actually doing a drive-in movie with the Grinch, so I'm excited about that. Again, some things have had to change because of COVID, but we're still moving forward and offering students that real-world college experience and different activities here on campus. But also within our specific department, we do fun things like scavenger hunts and movie nights and pizza parties and monthly meetings. And back when we can get going on the road, all of our departments participate in different conferences and competitions and audition processes for transfer. We help you transfer. We help you when it's time to leave us and go on to the next one. We want to see you get that degree. So if that's us driving you to that audition, we are there to help you. And again, we also go and try to see professional theater all around to not only do shows, but we want you to see shows and immerse yourself in that. So not much happening right now with COVID, but we can't wait for that to open back up and get back on the road and taking our students to see these different shows.
And there's so many opportunities for our students. I don't know if they do, but there's so many opportunities for our students to mix with the general population of the college through these student events, right? Our students work so hard performing and doing productions that sometimes it's useful just to get out and do a fun drive-in movie so that you meet other people who maybe are, you know, athletes or bio majors or something. And we actually had a lot of support at Blood Wedding. We had a lot of students from other departments coming in and watching our show, which was such a cool thing for them to sort of support it. And I don't know if they understood it, but it was really cool that they were there. And that was very, very interesting for our students as well. All right, now we're going to get to the really important stuff. The money. Mrs. Shearer, do you want to walk us through sort of what requirements there are for the Performing Arts Scholarships?
Yep. So hopefully all of you here today are interested in auditioning for the program. Usually these auditions take place the spring of your senior year for those interested in joining our program for fall of 2021. Jocelyn and Alex will explain next the actual audition requirements, what you need to do to audition for us. But we do want to give you an idea, if you are awarded a scholarship, what also is involved, just to give you an idea. You will be required to complete the FAFSA organization, and much more information will come on this. It's just to give you a quick overview. This is the free application for federal student aid. Most colleges and scholarship programs require this, and it's simply to have your information on file, but you will be required to complete one of these. Our scholarship is not based on the results of FAFSA though. So some of you might have already completed it and found out that you're not eligible for anything. That's okay. Again, we just have to have one on file. Our scholarship is administered through our department here. You do need to contact one of us to get this information about auditioning and possibly getting the scholarship. Our ISRC Foundation also offers lots of other scholarships, and sometimes students think that they go through that portal to get ours, but ours, just as they said, the grease was sold out last year. That money that we raise from that not only pays for all production expenses, but that's where the money comes from for these scholarships that we award up to 100 students each semester. So it is administered through our office. So just be sure you're contacting one of us if it's something that you're interested. You do have to register for a minimum of 12 credits each fall and spring semester. This is considered full-time status. So you might not have heard about credits before, but you might have heard your brother, sister, friend goes to school part-time or full-time. That our scholarship requirement does require that you're a full-time college student. And then also once you get into the program, you are required to maintain a 2.5 GPA. But of course, at the college level and wanting to transfer and everything, you want to have that even higher than that. But again, yes, we do. So with us, you have the performance requirements. You have to be here. You have to rehearse. You have to perform. But there is that academic standard on there as well. And again, the reason we do that is ultimately all of our jobs here is to get you this degree and get you out, you know, with the job that you want. And in order to do that, you do have to do the academic side as well. So we do have that requirement in there that you do have to go to those math classes and history classes and things like that and maintain that GPA. And then one other requirement is you will be required to pay for and initially pass a drug test to get into the program. That would be administered the summer before you start the program. And then once you're in the program, you are subject to random drug tests. You do not have to pay for those. But all athletes and performing arts students here at ISRC are subject to those random drug tests. And again, we are paying you to be here. This is your job. So just like your job at Publix and everything, you are expected to remain drug-free.
Which I'm sure will not be a problem for anyone on this call. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on, we're going to talk about this is, okay, I'm ready. Here we go. What do I do, right? So the very first step is the easiest one, which is to submit the IRSC application online. And Mrs. Shearer, where can they go to find that application?
Sure. I'm actually going to share my screen with you really quick just to show you here. It's very simple. You're going to go right here to the main college website, irsc.edu. And really anything that you would want to know about the college is on here. You can even go up to faculty and staff and find all of our contact information. You can go to community and find all about our programs and shows and tickets. But on the main website here at the homepage, if you scroll all the way down here at the bottom, you literally have a tab right here that says request information, visit, or apply. If you quickly apply, and you literally just go through these steps here, you can go ahead and get started on these now. You do not have to be, you do not have to have graduated college yet. You can go ahead and get that application started. And hopefully once you audition with us, we'll already have that student ID for you. So feel free to check that out and let us know if you have any questions.
Thank you. And are we back on my screen now?
Yeah.
Great. And so once you've done that, now we're going to talk about how do you get into these programs? How do you get considered for the scholarship? So Professor Perez, walk us through what you need for a dance scholarship.
Yeah, so for a dance scholarship, you will need one choreographed solo, and it could be in any dance style. So put your best foot forward, what's gonna show your personality, your performance quality. And I do want to make note that we're not looking for production value. I understand we don't have access to maybe dance studios or, you know, a big performance space. So no stress on that. My concern or what I'm looking for is you dancing in a space, doesn't matter what space, doesn't have to be costume, just something that I could see you in performance mode and a 1 minute solo.
Yeah, and similarly, and I should say this is actually a picture of what you're looking at. I forgot to mention, but our acting class, we actually have on this campus a full service production studio, a full service TV and film studio. And we were fortunate enough that this semester I was able to, for the first time, get our acting class partnered with our video crew, and they got to practice on camera acting techniques. They got to film their scenes, and you're looking at one of our students, Sarah, performing her scene from Mr. Marmalade on camera. Her scene partner was in front of a green screen in the other half of the room, and we got to then critique the videos. We do not expect you to have a home studio set up to film your auditions. However, many of you, because of COVID, in your current high school situations, you're doing this right now for your IEs, for your for all of your festival pieces. We know you guys are filming things, so you're probably better experts at this than we are, which is great. You'll have plenty to teach us. Okay, for performance scholarships for theater, if you're going just for straight acting, then you can just do one monologue for me. You don't need two. Again, 1 to 2 minutes is fine. And you're going to want to make sure it's from a play. I don't want you to just look online and find, you know, random men's or women's monologues. Make sure it's from a play. Make sure you understand the character, yada, yada, yada. You guys know the story. And if you want to do music theater, we do have a music theater program. It's not a specific degree, but we have a track within our program where you get to focus on Professor Perez's, mine, and Dr. Reith's vocal classes. So you're going to want to do one monologue, again, 1 to 2 minutes, and one musical theater song selection, again, a 16 to 32 bar cut. And if you all are familiar with musical theater, you know what I'm talking about, 16 to 32 measures, again, about 30 seconds worth of music. Please make it from musical theater, not Taylor Swift, thank you. And as much as we love Taylor Swift. And also though, if you want to get, we have scholarships for technical theater as well. And I would like to see sort of what the equivalent of a portfolio presentation would be. Many of you don't have portfolios yet, but some of you might have some design work that you've done in class or for productions at your high schools. Or you can treat it as an interview. You can just get on camera and very informally talk to me about, here's my experience in technical theater. Here's what I want to do. Here's what I have done. And here's why I'm interested in the program. I think the thing to remember, just like Professor Perez says, this is not about production quality. This is about introducing yourself. An audition, as my students will tell you, an audition is your introduction. It's you showing us your personality through some text that you've memorized or through a dance piece that you've choreographed, but it's you showing us who you are as an artist. That's what we want to see. So don't stress about it. Do your best. And the good news is you can record it over and over again until you get it right, until you get it to the place where you want it to be. And Mrs. Shear, how will they get it to us? Where do they go from here?
Again, you will need to contact one of us and by email, and we will send you the link. We will reiterate all of this information here today, so don't feel like you need to write this down. In the email that you send us, we will tell you what is required, and then we'll provide you a link, and that's how you'll submit your audition. The actual platform is Airtable, but on that link, you click it, you type in your name, contact information, and you submit your audition video right there. In the chat here, I will put my email. And probably the easiest one to get a hold of. But again, feel free to text or call or email any of us, and we can get you the information for the auditions.
And you see that last bit there says that this is due, your videos are due by April 15th. You can submit them tomorrow through April 15th. And here is where I'll give my other caveat of audition advice. When you are allowed to sign up for audition slots, let's say for the school musical or for Professor Perez's dance company or whatever it is, and you have an option of going earlier versus later, I know we all think that we want to go later. And the fact is you always want to be the first one up. You want to take the earliest slot available because you want to set the bar. You want to be the one that Professor Perez and I are comparing everything else we see to. So the reason I'm saying that is go ahead. You've got these pieces ready. You've done your IEs. You're waiting to dance all your life and you can't wait to do this. Go ahead and record it and give us your best shot. There is nothing wrong with sending this in earlier rather than later. It gets you on the radar. It gets us tracking you. And it makes us say, hey, I've got this stellar kid that applied to me December 15th. That tells me this person really wants to be here, right? As opposed to waiting till April 14th when everything technical goes wrong and you have to write to us and say, oh my gosh, I just lost all my footage. Can I please have an extension? It doesn't do you any good. So go ahead, apply as soon as you're ready, and we can't wait to see your work. All right? Professor Perez, is that true in the dance world as well?
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah. I thought so. I just wanted to confirm. Yeah. So, folks, that brings us to the end of our presentation. I'm happy to open this up to any Q&A from our participants. If there's anything in the chat room, I haven't been monitoring that. But also, we do have some of our current students here, and I just thought maybe it would be useful to have Megan and Terry. Megan, do you want to maybe start and talk to us a little bit about what it's been like? You're a first-year student coming from high school. And as I said, you're sort of a whiz in our tech program. What's sort of one of your most memorable moments from this year, or what's something that you'll sort of treasure?
Hi guys, I'm Megan, like you said, and yeah, it's my first year at ISRC, and I'm on technical theater scholarship here. And I think one of the most memorable moments for me was, of course, the show. I had some personal complications before the show, so it was really tough starting out. But you know, of course, I talked to Mr. Cantor and Miss Becky, and we got it all sorted out. And I just appreciate how much they're, you know, willing to help you succeed. And of course, the show was so much fun. Oh, sorry. The show was so much fun being able to, you know, kind of come together because I had been on the technical side of it, setting it up. So I saw that aspect, and then being able to see, you know, the lights and the sound and the acting and the stage all come together at once was like, it's really, really awesome for my first show at IRSC.
Thank you, Megan. And I'm glad you had a good time. And again, Megan was a rock star. She literally came in at the last minute and called the show, and it was pretty incredible. So, and she looked like she was having fun while doing it. So thank you, Megan. Terry's one of our second-year students. He's involved in everything there is to be involved in. He's dancing for Professor Perez. He's recording his video next week. He was a woodcutter in my show and second gentleman number 2 or whatever. I made him sing at the last minute there. Terry, and he's like starring in our spring comedy. Terry, what is something that you'll miss about this program when you move on to the amazing things that you're going to do when you get out of here?
Something that I'm gonna miss much is how active you stay, like how busy and consistent things are. So you can be doing one thing and you got to work on something else, and it really just channels all of the creativity that you want to express all the time to be able to have a bunch of outlets and be able to do things and staying consistent and stuff. So that's the biggest thing, one of the biggest things that I'm going to miss in this program.
And when he says active, he means like knocking on my door every day saying, hey, can I get into the dance studio? I need to practice right now. And it's a pleasure to do that because we want active students, right? Active artists are artists that work. Our active artists are employed artists. Let's put it that way. So are there any other questions from the group? I know Mr. Prestamo, I just messaged you back. And we will, the question was about, do we have the instrumental and the vocal music programs? And we do have those, and we will most likely be hosting more open houses that feature those programs, as well as revisiting these in January and February. And we'll be happy to send you more information about those. Any questions? I want to say, is it Sarah from Melbourne? Are you still here?
Yes, hi.
Hi, Sarah. You have to make sure, are you a student of Mr. Savickas?
Yes.
You better tell Mr. Savickas that Alex Cantor says hello.
Okay, I will.
And I want him to email me and say hi back, okay? How did you have a good, how did IEs go? Are you guys done with IEs for the districts?
I don't think so, not yet, but almost, but.
Okay, so a little bit more to go. You guys have an incredible program there, and I love everything that you guys do. So thank you for being with us.
Of course.
I would like to jump in back to the comment. Yes, we are the Performing and Visual Arts Department. So today we are featuring our theater and our dance program, but we do offer a vocal program and an instrumental. Same thing, you can major in those worlds, get the scholarship, and then transfer to a four-year university to finish your degree. Or you can also come here and participate in both of those programs, get a scholarship, and not major in those worlds. You can we have a lot of biology majors and business majors that are trumpet players. So we, again, encourage that. And I would say to all the students here today that if you have friends that are interested in that type of stuff, please pass on my information as well. I'm happy to communicate that information to them as directly. You don't have to do this whole speech form, just pass along my information to friends that maybe couldn't join here today or other students. So.
And we are recording this presentation. So if you have friends that didn't get to make it, we are happy to send them the presentation and they can sit and watch it, as can your parents, who I'm sure want to find out all this useful information. So just let us know. We will be posting it. I think we were talking about posting it on a YouTube channel that we can send a private link out to anyone who's interested in sharing it with their friends. And most importantly, I would say, come see what we do. Professor Perez's dance show, which features Terry, is going to be broadcast January 28th through the 30th. Am I making that up?
Yeah.
And if you go to our Facebook page or our website, you'll be able to see those dates and how to access that program via Facebook or YouTube. It's incredible what they're doing and the digital transmission of the dance medium. And then we've got Triumph of Love coming up in February 18th through 20th. And our spring comedies, April 8th through 10th. Come see our shows and come say hi to us, and we will let you in for free. I can promise you, if you've been on this call, you get in for free. And Mrs. Shear can yell at me later for that. But we would love for you to see what we do, because that's when you'll fall in love with what we do. For the recording of the dance show, Mr. Mackenzie?
So Mackenzie was having some issues with her connection through this session. So I mentioned in a private chat that we would have this recording available.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Mackenzie, if you email, maybe the best thing, Mackenzie, would be email Mrs. Shear at the email address she put up there. And that way she's got you on the radar. As soon as we have this downloaded, she can just send you that. Does that work?
Yeah, that would be best.
Awesome.
All right, everyone happy? Then why don't we just, I'll let Mrs. Shear and Professor Perez give you some parting shots, some closing words. I couldn't resist. Annie, get your gun, it's right there. And we'll be done for the weekend. Mrs. Shear?
Again, thank you for being here today. And I kind of said it before, but yeah, just feel free to pass along the information. The other thing I want to say is it's okay to apply a lot of different places and audition for a bunch of different places. For instance, if you send us a video next month and I send you a letter saying you've received a scholarship and then things change, you get an acceptance letter to NYU, You're not going to hurt my feelings. Come and let me know. I will come to your house and help you pack for NYU. Just because you auditioned for us and you got a scholarship, you do not have to accept it. So I would encourage you everywhere, apply everywhere, look into every college. Come down here. You don't even have to come for a show. You can come down here. I will give you a personal tour of our facilities and have you talk to our students. So I would encourage you to do that wherever you're looking at going.
Yeah, I would just echo what Mrs. Shearer said, and just do the task and move on, right? So if you know you're interested in this program, then just apply, check it off the box, and you move on to the next thing, and then we'll come back to you. So just, this is an amazing opportunity. Please share with your friends and family, and we look forward to meeting you soon.
Thank you. And the last thing that I'll say, folks, is we want to applaud you, because right now in this day and age, with everything that is going on in the world, thinking about your future and even thinking about pursuing college takes a lot of bravery and a lot of courage. And you're one step there, right? You're getting there. So the notion that you've taken the time to be with us today tells me you care about your future and you're ready to make that commitment, wherever that may be. And I just want to say bravo and bravo to you. That takes a lot of guts right now. And we can't wait for that first step to be with us and see you in the fall, but we know you're going to be successful and amazing wherever you go. So feel free to reach out. Amy, thank you for your comment as well. And everyone, we wish you a happy holidays and to be safe and warm, and keep your eyes out for all those amazing videos that are coming out soon.
Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Megan.
Thank you, guys.
And thank you, Manuel. Take care.